spot you way out of my league.
Hello, everybody. We are here today with Oliver from Amberwood. Thank you for joining us on MusicReach. We are happy to sit down and ask you a few questions about your band and yourself, kind of get a grasp of where you guys come from, how you guys began, and what's in the future in store for Amberwood. So maybe take us back to how Amberwood began.
Okay, thanks for having us.
Anytime.
Yeah, so Colin and Cam in high school were good friends, and they weren't necessarily part of that like cool crowd, so to speak. So essentially, they were together gaming, doing some like rock band type video games or whatnot. And they decided finally one day they're just gonna pick up acoustic guitars. So acoustic guitars were gotten. They posted some stuff online, and Wes, our drummer, saw one of the covers they posted online, or one of their own songs it might have been, and he messaged him and asked if he could jam with them. And at the time, Cam and Colin didn't have electric guitars, so when he put that offer out there, they decided they take him up on it, and they got an electric guitar and bass, and they wrote the three-piece for a while, and then went through a couple singers, and after a year away at university, I ended up joining them after same sort of situation where I posted a cover online, and they asked me out and threw me at the front.
Huh. Did you find a lot of pressure? Like, did you know the background a little bit, that they've already been through three singers, and you're like, oh shit, am I going to be the fourth?
No, originally when I joined, I was good friends with Wes, and we were going through the same sort of turmoil, relationship wise and whatnot. But no, it wasn't nerve-wracking, because initially I joined the band as a rhythm guitarist, and like the second practice came around and Colin was like, here's a song I sort of wrote. Run with it. Here we are now.
You cut out. You said right when you said Colin wrote, and then your camera stalled out on us there for a little bit. So you could repeat that last answer for us?
Yeah, sorry. So yeah, Colin had presented the band with this song that he'd been working on, and kind of threw it in my direction. We kind of co-wrote that one. So lyrically, it was kind of a half and half. But that was like that was actually Emergency, which is on the first EP, the first song we wrote as a band.
That was on Event Horizon?
Yep.
Awesome. And you guys did a second EP in 2014, right? Now and Then?
Yeah, and it's since been sort of rejigged. We threw some of the newer stuff, the couple singles that we released this past year. We threw that on there with it and just called it EP2. So kind of leading up towards the next one.
Okay, and that's so it's gonna be, you're going on the third or fourth year now that you're coming out with a third.
Oh well, it's been 2 years, over 2 years actually, since we released a full EP. So we're pretty excited to finally share like what we've really been working on the road with everybody. So that'll be out sometime in September, late August.
Awesome. Do you guys have a name for that EP yet?
We just settled on it.
Do you want to announce it or not yet? You want to kind of hold those goodies for September?
I'll give you the name. I won't give you the backstory yet, but
okay.
It's called 143.
143. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's a little mystic, but
yeah, it kind of leaves me hanging there.
Yeah, you'll see. I guess I'll get to explain it next time I see it.
Yeah, I like it those. And are you guys planning on touring this album?
This time around, we're doing more of a smaller course.
Okay.
We're gonna focus mainly on Ontario and the general area, and that's mainly just to try and build a really tight fan base down the 401.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We're used to doing the cross Canada, the US, and the UK stuff, so it's a different approach this time, but hopefully one that works.
That's okay. When you guys did travel to the US and UK, did you find any difficulties with your traveling with gear or getting visas to travel abroad?
I mean, for gear, we in the UK we ended up actually just bringing our pedal boards which was quite the situation at the airport. And the guy sees the pedal board go through the scanner. There's just a bunch of metal boxes connected with wires. The guy's face went white, and I was like, "Oh no!" He was sitting there like he was like, "This is my lucky day. Like I've caught somebody with a bomb." But no, we ended up renting all of our gear there. And in the States, we actually have like a super detailed, extensive list of all of our gear. So when we do go through the border in our van and trailer, we just show them that list, and usually they let us through pretty easily.
And when you got visas to do that, is that a difficult task? I've heard that could be a little challenging.
It was actually easier getting our visas for the UK. You only need to apply like 2 weeks out.
Oh wow!
And you just need like somebody like to speak on your behalf that is over there. The States is a lot longer and more paperwork, but the process.
Yeah, I heard you need at least like 6 months minimum to get the US one.
100 days. So
yeah,
it's a pretty good chunk of time.
Yeah, that's at least 4 months. So
yeah.
That's not bad. Any nightmare stories of gear getting lost or broken in your travels?
Since last time we talked, we just played a festival just past Toronto, and Colin broke his bass in half.
No way, in half?
Yeah.
How did that happen?
He hit it on his mic stand.
Oh my gosh.
It wasn't me. I'm usually the one to tear around on stage and break people's stuff. I've broken Wes's drums multiple times, but no, for once it wasn't me. We haven't really had any serious issues though, traveling wise, having gear stolen or broken, but we're like crazy careful. We chain our trailer to like whatever we can, like a lamppost or whatever, and we have one person sleeping in the van usually if that's the case.
Yeah, that's a good call. There's a lot of people actually doing that, smashing car windows and taking instruments. There's been
it's crazy. Like even the bands that we know, there's like at least 3 off the top of my head that I can think of that have had all of their gear stolen.
Yeah,
so
it's weird. It's like professional jobs happening that are out
for
musicians.
Full rundown about like how they do it in Montreal, because it does happen in Montreal quite a bit.
Yeah, and
essentially they just take your trailer and ship it like off in a shipping container because there's a harbor right there.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Like as soon as they take it, it's gone.
Yeah, that's brutal. So when you guys are traveling like that, how do you guys manage your food and kind of stay healthy?
Don't.
You just give in to the McDonald's? We
try and stick to like a pretty minimal budget, but like at the end of the week, I'm usually just eating a cigarette by the end. The scraps, just the loose tobacco at the bottom of the pack,
which probably still tastes delicious to me.
It's better than nothing. No, we do try and plan ahead quite a bit, but it is, I mean, as an independent band, it is pretty difficult to be self-sustainable.
Yeah, and talking about independent bands, now that it's a lot easier, I guess, to manage with the internet, social media, and kind of advertising yourself. Do you find that has been a good thing for the music industry, or kind of has been a bad thing?
I would say it's a bit of a double-edged sword. I think it's put more onus on bands like ourselves to really do everything we can and build ourselves as a business. But on the same token, I do think it also has resulted in less people in the industry wanting to go out there and work hard to develop a band or to find a band even at that. Now it's basically expected that you build your business, and you really can't do anything without a hit song. So you have to build your business, have something to show for it, show that you're profitable, show that you have what it takes and the dedication, hard work that it takes to achieve whatever your goals are. And for us, it's we're looking at the stadiums.
Yep.
I mean, it's different for every scene, but for us at least, and pop as well, I know it's quite difficult to break into it if you don't have the work ethic it takes to get to where you want to be. So you have to. It really motivates and puts onus on the band to work as hard as you can to then be able to present to really a potential investor what you've got to offer for them.
Mm-hmm. So when you hit a couple of those bumps in the roads where it doesn't kind of seem as fun as you thought it would be and a little tougher than you thought, how do you guys get through those tough moments?
Just play more.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
power
honestly,
through.
it seems like on our off times when we have the hardest time, I wouldn't say meshing together, but it's definitely we definitely thrive on the road, and we've found that playing shows and keeping really busy with band stuff has been single-handedly the most effective fashion for us to move forward. Yeah.
And do you find, I guess, traveling together, do you guys kind of pick on each other or kind of rub each other the wrong way?
No, and that goes without saying. What I was saying before is, it seems like on the road we almost get along better than when we're not. It's just like everybody's spirits and just the energy that everybody puts off is so much more positive when we're on the road, and that's why over the last 2 years we've gone coast to coast around the world, down in the States. Yeah, we've just been trying to keep as busy as we can. I think it's also what's inspired a lot of the writing for the new one.
Yeah. And when you guys do have a little tiff with one another, how do you guys work that out? Do you kind of sit down as a group or kind of pull the one person that you're having the tiff with aside and say, hey, this wasn't too cool?
I don't want to make it seem like I don't want to paint a perfect image, but we really don't have a whole lot of disagreements within the band. Everybody respects one another, and everybody has their own kind of niche role that they're in, whether it be social media or booking shows, and just creatively. So, yeah, I mean, we don't really ever have problems with each other. And if it's, when we're on the road and somebody has like some sort of an off night where it's good, usually he'll crack a joke and it'll just go back to normal.
Yeah, that's excellent, because a lot of bands, it's the opposite. So it's hard, and sometimes it's hard, like when it's a big group, it's kind of like dating 4 or 5 other people, to kind of balance and juggle those relationships. So that's a unique thing you guys have. And
yeah, that's why I tell people, is like, they're like, when I hear somebody complain about the relationship, I'm like, but you're not dating 3 other dudes.
Yeah.
You're not stuck with them in a van.
Yeah.
How hard can it really be?
Yeah, we might cuddle once in a while, but
we definitely get nice and tight sleeping, because usually we tour with either like a photographer or somebody who's helping us out on the road. So usually there's 5 of us in an 8-passenger van, so there's 2 bench seats, and then we try and squish 3 people in the back with their feet under the seats. So it gets pretty close.
You guys play rock paper scissors for who gets that crappy spot?
Not really. I mean, Cam gets the short bench.
That makes sense.
Colin usually gets the second bench, and then Wes usually gets the second bench, and then the tall guys lay in the back, their feet under the seat. It's not too bad. I can't complain. I've got a great seat.
Do you guys do writing on the road too, like bring an acoustic with you, maybe just a jam in the van type thing?
Yeah, I definitely spend most of my time writing, or most of the time on the road writing, just based on inspiration. It's like when I actually have time to sit down and like pound through a song. It's distracting sometimes being at home and like between work and home. When on the road, you get to like really dedicate all of your time and energy and mental capacity towards doing one thing. So whether the guys are gaming or doing their own thing or whatnot, like I'll sit in the hotel room or in the van and jam something out and see where it goes.
So are you the primary writer, or do you guys kind of all write and kind of throw in your each ideas?
Typically I'll write something acoustically, and have a melody and some lyrics, and then during sound check or when we come home, and we've got like the compilation of songs to work through, and then everybody kind of adds their parts around that initial acoustic song.
And how did you get into music? Not Amberwood, but Oliver.
Yeah, I mean, I never really realized until like quite recently. I didn't really have like a crazy musical upbringing, but all of my memories looking back on life are attached to some form of musical something, like whether it be like it seems like anything I remember has a song attached to it or some sort of musical aspect to whatever that memory is.
Hmm.
Uh,
So
you know,
growing up, what did you listen to?
um, I'm quite lucky. My dad had pretty good taste in music, in my opinion, at least. I listened to a lot of older stuff. Obviously, the Beatles, Zeppelin.
Hmm.
Actually, I remember distinctly. There's like Whole Lotta Love by Led Zeppelin. I remember driving to middle school with my dad, and this is back when I lived in Alaska. And like on the way to school, we would like there's the bridge that goes all crazy and like whirlwindy. And it
Yeah.
was just like yelling and just like playing the drums and playing guitar to it. And that's like I think one of my most vivid music memories. But yeah, like Beatles, Zeppelin, The Who, U2,
Nice.
just a lot of like older rock bands that I still look back on and I'm like, damn, those guys are good.
Yeah. And I know you're a fan of a lot of British rock. What's a couple of your good favorite British rock bands that people should look up right now?
Off the top of my head, there's Catfish and the Bottlemen,
Mm-hmm.
the Amazons, and Sundara Karma. They're all pretty. I mean, I won't say new because I hate when somebody says like, "Oh, like this new band." It's like, come on with the fact that they've been on the road for like the past 5 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, those guys they're all top dogs. I really like those guys.
And have you heard of the Arctic Monkeys?
Arctic Monkeys, yeah.
Yeah, they're solid too. Eh?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
I haven't heard it yet, but I heard it's really good.
yeah. It's taking a turn.
Has it?
But
In a good
not
way?
way. I'm still listening.
Yeah.
Still trying to figure it out. But
Yeah.
but when that AM album came out, that was on repeat, and a lot of their older stuff too, the more thrashy kind of punk stuff. I look back on now, I'm like that, like the songwriting's there, but everything's so fast. You're just like the whole time.
Yeah. They've been solid for a long time, and
Yeah, this has been around for. They've put in work.
they have, and I know last time we talked, I brought it up. They had a rivalry with the Kooks, are also an excellent British band, and
Well, ironically, Catfish and the Bottlemen did their whole the Kooks' whole Australian tour with them.
that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
They're pretty badass.
I wish I could have caught that. But,
Yeah. So I gotta ask the question: what do you enjoy better, traveling in the UK or traveling in the US?
hmm, I don't want to say it's an easy question, but the UK's just like got this vibe to it that like between shows and even as a place, it's such a beautiful place. And like I don't know if it's because here from Canada, there's not as much history, but you drive up to like Scotland, and it's like the most beautiful untouched place ever. It's just like crazy, and the people there like are just out to see live music. They just want to find cool bands,
So there's a
which
good scene there.
yeah, which we don't find like anywhere else really. It seems but, like every show when we're over there, like people are like coming up to you after and they're like, man, like you guys got to come back and whatever. But like we get that here too, but not to the same degree that we did in the UK. So it's definitely some positive reinforcement for us liking British bands and also going over there playing and being told that we're being appreciated.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. Shout out to Scotland for that.
Woo!
Was there a specific city you guys were in when you visited, or did you kind of go all over Scotland?
We did Glasgow and we did Edinburgh.
Nice.
Yeah, so the
Two big ones.
two main ones.
Yep. And did you guys aim for that, or did you kind of just fall upon those cities?
We work with a guy that actually books theaters now. But alongside him, Colin and Cam are bassist and guitarist. They did a good chunk of the mapping of the tour, which they do for all of our tours really. So
Well, I know you guys have opened up for the Trues, Deer Rouge, Pop Evil, and Sloan, and I'm gonna make you put you on the spot here. The
You're not gonna make.
Trues or Sloan? Which one was a better experience for you?
Well, they both had their positives, and no, they just both had their own positives.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's say this: if you had to open for one again, who would you choose?
Um,
They're both excellent.
Musically, I've always, and I think it's because growing up, I listened to the Trues a lot more than I did Sloan.
Hmm.
Just age. Um, I really enjoyed playing with the Trues, but the Sloan show was a Canada gig, so it's the big stage outside, kind of festival style, where they shut down the main street, and we got to play that. So that was super cool.
That's
But
pretty cool. Was that in Kitchener?
yeah, that was in Kitchener.
Canada's Day, eh?
Yeah, but it's crazy. Like you listen to these bands growing up, and you're like, these guys are super cool, and then all of a sudden you meet them and you get to play before them, and it's just like it's the weirdest feeling, and it's a little intimidating, honestly.
Yeah. Your nerves build up, I bet, all day.
All week.
A full week of nerves.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. I want to ask you one last question, and then if you do want to decide to play a song, you're more than welcome to play an acoustic song for us. If not, if you have to get going, we completely understand. But I want to know what your favorite song of Amberwood's is, or coming out maybe on your future EP that's coming out in September/August.
Yeah. I think maybe is what's one of the tracks on the new EP that's gonna be coming out. For numerous reasons, it's my favorite song. I think songwriting wise, it's like my best work yet. Really excited about that, but playing it live, the chorus is a little halftimey, so it's like kind of want to just like free fall when the chorus hits.
Nice.
But
And what's the song about?
I'm really stoked about that song in particular. Well, a lot of the songs are about relationships and failed relationships,
Yeah.
which I mean is sort of goes hand in hand with being in a band. It's not the easiest thing or you can't really expect somebody to just be okay with you leaving for extended periods of time at once. So, I mean, the opening lyric is basically in short form, just telling somebody that you can't fully dedicate yourself to that person because of this other lifestyle that you're pursuing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's that kind of lonely on the road, wanting love but not be able to keep it.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
And it makes sense because a lot of songwriters get a lot of flack for writing relationship songs, but I think the reason being is it's one, easy to access that because you feel very passionate about it,
Yeah.
and secondly, it's a lot of good material to write about a female, which is also for the listener, it's easy for them to relate to, I find, because everybody's in some type of relationship of some sort.
Yeah, I mean, and the way to describe it is, like, I tend to write about just not necessarily relationships, but just human connection, because it's one of the most important things in life, and it's also one of the most complex and most difficult to upkeep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, obviously being in a band, being away makes it hard, but everybody's got their own kind of quirks and hardships within whatever friendships, relationships that they have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. And I listened to a bunch of your guys' tunes. The three that really stood out to me were Out of This Place, Excuses, and Lovers. I thought all three of those were really excellent. Excuses, especially, I thought that's a pretty good radio single. So
And
if that's on the EP, people listen for that tune because I think that's an excellent one. If I had to choose myself, that'd be one that I would toss out there. I'll leave it in your hands if you would like to play us a song. If you don't, I know you're short on time today, so don't feel bad if you can't. We'd love to interview you guys when the new EP comes out.
I'll do it for you.
Oh,
Just
sweet.
hopefully I don't I do the song some justice.
Which one is this that you're gonna do?
I'll do Excuses.
Perfect. Awesome.
Usually I have Colin here or Cam to do the backup vocals, but
No problem.
we'll try it just me.
Awesome. Let's do it.
Cool. I never found the nerve to fight back at you when you say that I can't deliver on anything. So when I waste breath on you, trying to reason when I know you'll never listen to anything. Every word you say crosses a line, and you want me to say that you're quiet and take the abuse when I got nothing left to prove, no. But I couldn't help but try to find excuses to rectify the lies that I wrote about you, baby, the truth. Depending on you. I couldn't help but try to find excuses to making things alright. But you know it's not that easy to do. We're so far from good. Here we go. She couldn't stand the sight of seeing me succeed, 'cause she knew I'd never be there to anything. But every word you say crosses a line, and you want me to say that quiet and take the abuse when I got nothing left to prove, no. But I couldn't help but try to find excuses to rectify the lines that I wrote about you, baby, the truth. Depending on you. But I couldn't help but try to find excuses to making things alright. You know it's not that easy to do. We're so far from good. Here's a part where it's supposed to be super belty and swelly. This sounds so much better with all the other instruments in here, but we're gonna do it.
Still sounds good.
I couldn't help but try to find excuses to use. When I'm bending over back and I know that you're not seeing it through. But I couldn't help but try to find excuses to rectify the lies that I wrote about you, baby, the truth. Depending on you. I couldn't help but try to find excuses to making things alright. But you know it's not that easy to do. So far from good.
Badass.
Thanks.
Colin and Cam better watch out. You don't need their backups.
No, man. That's just me up there.
I'm kidding. That sounded excellent.
Thanks.
Well, how about you tell everybody where they could check out Amberwood's music, download, buy it, check out your website, things like that, and I will post all those links for the people down below or up, whichever way we're going.
Surprise us. If you check out www.amberwoodmusic.com, you can find all of our social media links. everything you want, really. There's our shop online, buy merch, CDs, Spotify,
Perfect.
iTunes. It's all there.
iTunes, Google Play, all the good stuff.
It'll be everywhere.
Awesome. Well, that's all we have for time for today. If you guys would like to have a chat once that EP's ready, we'd love to have you back.
Absolutely.
And for everybody else who is listening, please check out their music, download their tunes. They are a killer band, and you'll be hearing a lot of them in the future.
Thank you.
Take care, Oliver. Thanks for spending the time with us.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Am I